People always talk about the future, but we don't know whether we will actually see the future, because recently there have been reports of sea creatures dying because of plastic waste, and we hear that a lot of bodies water on Earth are polluted, thus affecting the ecosystem, affecting humans' own health, and is responsible for the extinction of many species, because as we know that water is a vital resource for living things, and if the water is polluted, then the food chain is disrupted. That's what's happening right now. However, as long as I remember, I have never seen a beautiful river in the city where I live. And that must mean there has been something going on. And that is the habit of not recycling things. The habit of throwing trashes impulsively to the river, the habit of not sorting trashes. That's why I am proposing a solution to all these problems, and that is to criminalize individuals and organizations that do not recycle. We must give an extreme solution to problems that have been going on for so long. And the first thing I need to define here is that how do I recycle? How the regulation will make people recycle. So this recycling mechanism is that we will recycle materials such as plastic and other inorganic materials that are hard to break down. And the criminalizing setup is that we will take the people that don't recycle, or the institutions to the recycle, to the authority, and give them some rehabilitation. However, there will be differences between the individuals and the institutions, so I am proposing two mechanisms for this. So the first one is the mechanism for individuals. The first thing I will do here is that to redesign cities and public places, because I believe that people are lazy to recycle, or people are not used to recycling, because the people around them do the same thing. So I think restructuring public places will have a great impact on that. And we are going to do this by placing specific trash bins for materials that need to be recycled. These trash bins have sensors that detect what kind of material is being put into them. And when a material is put in the wrong place, there will be an alarm. We will put these trash bins in strategic places, and there will be some guards. Near the trash bins. We also monitor the area using CCTVs. And if someone is caught violating this rule, they will be taken to the authority and spend time on rehabilitation. During the time, they will be educated about environmental concern and will be asked to perform community duty like sorting the trashes to the right trash bin in public places. The second mechanism is for organizations. The first thing we need to do is, of course, to regulate them. We will educate the institutions with our policy. When this policy is implemented, we will also monitor how existing companies manage their waste. If they still don't recycle, we will abolish the legal permission of the organization. Organizations usually have workers in logistics. We will work with them to ensure the policy runs well, even in the most practical place. The second thing we need to do is to provide them with the facility, just like the individual mechanism. We can provide the specific trash bin and all the money needed to buy the specific trash bin. We need to put them in strategic places, of course, like in institutions such as school. Classes, toilets must have this type of trash bin too. And the third one is that we need to integrate our policy with the policy. I believe that every institution must have policies. And that's why this is like the most effective way to integrate our purpose with their purpose. And let me give you an example. For example, like schools must have a policy about environmental concern that is integrated with the general regulation or the regulation that I'm proposing right now. And to implement the scenario, I do believe that institutions, or in this case schools, must punish anyone who don't recycle in the area. For example, students who put trashes that are not recyclable into a trash bin that is meant to store a recyclable material will have problems with the academic record. And this scenario can also work in companies, so that workers that don't recycle will have problems with their work ethos. And to monitor this policy so that it goes well, I have some preemptions, and that is that we need to make recycling a culture. So I think from the first place we need to prevent people from buying, not from, we need to prevent people from repeating the habit. So I have a solution to limit the production and gradually ban the production of trash bins that are not designed to sort trashes. And eventually, because the conventional trash bins will no longer exist, people will be automatically changing their habit to sort trashes. And to make sure that this policy runs well, I will also cooperate with institutions that are concerned with environmental problems, and we will have a division that monitor how this policy is run. And okay, moving on to my argument why I am going to implement this policy, because I do believe that the culture of not sorting trashes, the culture of impulsively throwing trashes must stop. And so the context here is urgency. And if the policy is not implemented, I think that Chile will be as brown as it is now, 20 years from now. And this means that we need to stop it from the roots, right? And why? Because I do see that people think it's not a big deal to not recycle. People think that it's enough to just throw trashes to the trash bin and not heeding what materials the trashes are. So what we do here is actually restructuring the mindset. We want to create a new culture that is environmentally friendly. And why am I proposing this criminalization? And I know it sounds very extreme, because that is the point, because change must be radical. And we have seen the example lately during the pandemic, and before the pandemic, people have always assumed that technology is to blame for the loss of learning. But with the pandemic, we see that technology can actually be utilized for learning. So it has proven that actually such a radical change can restructure the mindset of people. And yeah, that's it, all I can convey. Thanks.